people don't love the idea of spiritual workers, woo-woo workers having and making money. The problem is I don't fucking care, by the way. I don't fucking care because I'll tell you what, my oversoul is not interested in me having an uncomfortable life, which is saying something because prior to 6 months ago, okay, I have been historically very good at living beneath my means. I mean, the rental that I just moved out of, the rental I just walked out of, which is a whole, which I'll get to, the rental that I walked out of, the general rule is you're supposed to pay what, like a third of your income to your housing. I was probably paying about a fifth or a sixth. Like this place was way beneath my means. I have always been a secondhand shopper, like a Goodwill fucking professional, okay? And or Amazon. Big fan of the Amazon workout clothes. And I've always owned my cars and bought my cars outright because I've only ever owned cars that were probably at least 7 to 10 years old. Okay. So all of this is to say, I haven't ever sought out a very high spending, high net worth lifestyle. It is surprising to me. It's surprising but also unsurprising that as soon as I follow the nudge to follow it's so bizarre. As soon as I follow the nudge to do what my soul came here to do, is when my wealth expanded. I mean, multifold. They're showing me, I'm probably gonna cry, which I wasn't planning on, but I'm also a channel, so I'm like, I'll probably start spontaneously channeling as I'm talking about this because they're also showing me that like I'm building my generational wealth for my generations after me, which, if you know anything about my story, I don't have anyone. I don't have going out on a limb, going out on a limb, quitting my full-time job, of which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed it. I felt like the workload and the pay were both very above adequate and manageable. I was in charge for the most part of my schedule. It was very flexible. I really respected my boss and my coworkers. I left that job. It's just so funny to me. I left that job and I think that my boss and coworkers were kind of like, okay, well, Misty's leaving to go be a psychic medium. I think subconsciously or consciously, they were kind of asking themselves, like, should we like should we keep her clients? Should we like hold on to this position for her? Because she might be coming right the fuck back. No, actually, not at all. My business, I am to the point. I am to the point in my business where I do not advertise what I do. I spend all of my time, listen to me, because this is bananas, okay? I spend all of my time increasing my capacity to take on more clients because the demand is higher. The demand has been, the demand is higher than I've been able to reach, by the way. What a sentence. Especially as like I don't advertise myself. I post on social media, even my social media posts, there's one post that people know me from, and I'm crying because I'm coming out as a psychic medium. The thing about that post, when I posted that, I didn't need there was nothing in the 3D world that was like, oh, you need to do this. But I just felt it in my soul. I was like, I just felt I was living out of alignment because I was gaining a little bit of an online platform. Like I think I had under 10K, but between 5 and 10K followers. And I wasn't being honest about this massive part of my personality. I guess it's not my personality. They're saying it's not my personality, it's my core. It's the core of my being, which is that I'm a medium and I'm a psychic and I'm a whole bunch of other things I don't understand. I don't understand. I didn't know. I didn't know, and I don't even have the language for a lot of the things that I do because I never sought out becoming what I am. And I still am thriving. Okay. I never sought out to own my own business. This is absolutely freaking bizarre to me that I own my own business because it was never, it was never my plan. I've never cared enough about, I just don't care. And yet here I am working for myself. And the reason why this is coming up this week specifically, I don't know what it is in the ethers. If you know something, maybe it's something in astrology, maybe there's something going on with like a money portal because I've had money come up this week more than ever before in my client sessions. And something that I keep feeling with my clients is this overwhelming sense of like, it's very similar to learning how to trust your intuition. It's like, okay, I will go out on a limb and do the thing that my guides are asking me to do to make money after I have like a security, some like money stored away, or like after I get some kind of severance or something. After I have enough money, after, and like, by the way, I'm just gonna debunk that right fucking now. You don't need that. You don't need that. I feel like people don't understand. I'm not special. I have no family. I have no backup plan. Nobody has ever had my back ever, but financially, my guides are like, what the fuck? Listen, I'm not talking about you, okay? But in terms of my family, I've had nobody, I am no contact with my entire family. I have nobody to fall back on except for my guides and myself. But that's exactly the point. Is like my guides are kind of screwed. They're not mad at me, but this keeps coming up during sessions where my clients are like, "Okay, I'll make the jump as soon as I feel safe enough." The guides are kind of pulling their hair out and they're like, don't you think if your soul is meant to do something, your soul is also going to take care of your body. Don't you think that your oversoul foresaw that you were going to be a human that had human fucking needs, by the way? Like, don't you think that your oversoul knew that they were coming to Earth and they planned accordingly? The answer is fucking yes, by the way. The answer is yes. So when you go, you can make it. I'm telling you. I feel like people look at me and they're like, "Oh, pretty white woman. She must have some amount of privilege and of course she can like go out on a limb and start her own business and be a psychic." No. I had nobody believing in me. When I graduated high school, I didn't know this. The expectations were so low for me that my immediate family and extended, they told me this after the fact, they didn't think I was going to graduate high school. The bar's been very low for me, okay? My first memories are of actual poverty. My first memories are of being hungry because there wasn't enough food. I don't have, yes, I am stereotypically attractive. Yes, I'm a Caucasian woman. Yes, I'm intelligent. Those are all privileges. I understand. The privileges I have, though, they're not a safety net coming externally. Do you see how all of those things are internal and how I have actually curated um, a very specific visual aesthetic to capitalize on those things, which was extremely strategic. Mind you, I'm also late in life diagnosed autistic. Finding out and figuring out how to optimize being physically attractive 100%. One of my first special interests, which is probably a video in and of itself. So yes, I am not going to say I don't have strengths. They're individual strengths. They didn't come from they're not coming from outside. I can't call mommy and daddy, okay? I have mommy and daddy fucking blocked, by the fucking way. I don't have I didn't have a backup plan. I also didn't need to leave that job. I didn't need to leave that job. Like I said, I was making really good money. My schedule was very flexible. The workload seemed manageable to me. I didn't need to leave that job. What happened was I made that post on social media. I was getting, it was almost it was almost like hate DMs. Like people were DMing me actually pissed off because they were like, "What are you doing working a job When do I get my reading with you? What are you doing? Working a job? Why is your schedule not available for the next 3 months? What are you doing? I need you. I need this thing from you. I'm not kidding you. People, I have had people, I've gotten on calls with people. This has happened probably a dozen times at this point. And I've gotten on calls with people where they've said to me, I don't know. I don't know what you do. And every time I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, I booked with you. I watched like the first 5 seconds of your video, and then I booked with you without finishing it because I don't know what you do. So I've been like, oh, what? I'm a medium and I'm a psychic, so I can like remote view the future and the past and other realities. And I could talk to pets, by the way. That's new. I didn't know that. I could talk to animals. There's pretty much very few things I can't do, okay? I'll get on that in a little bit. I have had people get on calls with me and be like, "I don't know what I'm happy to be here. I don't know what you do." Because people do not book with businesses. People book with people. People book with people that they trust. And the only way I never set out, this wasn't strategic. I wasn't like, oh, I need to build a brand of trustworthiness or something because, well, one, I think it helps that I'm fucking autistic. And so there's something about being autistic where unauthenticity is like debilitatingly dissonant to me. So I will say that like there is something in my hardwiring that makes me trustworthy because because it's something about being autistic. I don't really know what else to say about that. If you know more about the neuroscience of autistic people and why we are so naively open and honest, please tell me all about it because that actually isn't one of my special interests. So, where is I going with all of this? I'm also done editing my videos. I'm never editing a video ever again. What you're seeing is what you get, by the way. I'm fucking done with it. Do you want to know why? I hate doing it. And it literally keeps me from filming videos and putting myself out there because then I literally dread the editing process. No more edits. You're seeing what you're seeing is what you're getting, by the fucking way. If you don't like it, there's a freaking million other content creators all over the universe and the multiverse. You can go find them. I did not know what I was doing when I started my business. I didn't know what I was doing. If you remember in that very first video where I'm saying I'm psychic, I wasn't coming online to say, I'm psychic, please book with me. No. No, this wasn't what I even said in the video. I was like, I don't even have a Zoom subscription. Like I didn't even have a fucking Zoom subscription. I have had to figure this whole thing out from the ground up. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do have a noggin. I do have a brain and I have a computer and I can so I can figure it out, god damn it. So I have an LLC. I got business insurance. And I figured out the platforms and I had a website because I'm a painter. So I originally had a website because I wanted to sell my paintings. And this is exactly my point, is I love painting and my ego wanted to be in this lifetime. I'm probably gonna cry. An artist so badly. Oh my God. Like that's what I wanted. I didn't want to be a psychic. I didn't want to be a professional medium. I wanted to be an artist. As an aside, I'm trying not to cry because I don't want to edit this out. As an aside, I had actually tried posting my paintings online, like on Instagram, a couple of years ago, and it just did terribly. I was at a completely different place and time in my life, but I do think it's indicative of like, I genuinely believe other people can see your life purpose, other people will tell you what they want to buy from you. You don't even have to know what you have to offer because other people will tell you what they want to buy from you. I was also posting fitness content and I wasn't trying to sell anything, but I recognized I that's not my life path. Like that's not really the thing that people wanted to buy from me. Buy. But buy I mean consume. I don't just mean like money, buy. I mean like consume, like spend their attention on. People are not that interested in consuming fitness content from me. Like I said, I think I had like less than 10,000 followers. And basically overnight, the very first post I did about being psychic, I think I blew up over 30,000 followers. I think actually overnight. Because that's the thing that people want to buy from me because that's actually my soul mission and my soul purpose is to do this, is to be a medium. So you do not, if you have something you know you're supposed to be offering the world, you don't really need to have it, you don't need to have the details worked out because chances are it's not going to be the thing you end up doing anyways. For instance, I also was offering coaching services, like health and wellness coaching services on my site alongside my paintings because I was working on and I'm about to finish a coaching course. I've had a couple coaching clients, don't get me wrong. It's not revolutionary. It's not like revolutionaries and like it's not that's also not the thing people want to buy from me. The only reason I had the only reason I had a calendar on my website the only reason I had a calendar on my website is because I had one in-person coaching client over the winter, and so I had it up for her so she could schedule herself in my calendar and I wouldn't have to do like an email back and forth. That calendar People found that after I came out online about being psychic. People found that calendar on my website, which I wasn't fucking advertising. People found it and they plugged themselves in. And I now have an email list from that of over 1,500 people. I was literally booked out. I mean, overextended, booked out from March. I even was taking clients in February when I was still working full time. February, March, all the way until, I mean, I'm still booked out, by the way, but I was like overextended until May, June, until June, literally until June. And from one video, and I'm saying this because I didn't know what I was offering. It's not like I got online and I was like, "Hey, this is what I can do. This is how I can do it. You can book with me here." No. No. I was coming out online to say like, "Hey, I have this thing that I can do. It's a part of my identity that I'm a bit insecure about. Here I am." Like that's all that I was doing. And since doing that, since trusting the universe, it's not just about my finances, but my overall well-being is significantly better. I do want to talk about finances though, because that has been coming up a lot in sessions, so it feels necessary. Going back for context, I have historically always lived way beneath my means in order to increase my net worth. Honestly, I've done pretty good. And also, I didn't know I had ADHD autism, so I didn't really understand that I was experiencing burnout. And so I would have periods where like I couldn't work full time. I could only really work part time because of just my stress, because of burnout really. And so because of that, I kind of knew that I couldn't really work. I couldn't keep up the way that a lot of other people seem like they can. And so I factored in for that. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to spend less money so that when I'm burnt out, I can get away with working less, essentially, is what was going on. Okay, so I went over that my net worth has literally grown 400%. Okay, and I'm working a fraction of the time. I also, I am asked by my guides some of the most ridiculous things that in my mind, I'm like, that is going to cost me money. That is going to be a net loss. That's going to cost more than I'm going to bring in. And they're kind of like, whatever, take it or leave it, take it or leave it. take it or leave it. The very first, probably not the first, they were showing me that this actually wasn't the first time I did that. Do you want me to bring that up? Okay, yeah, I'll bring it up. So, about 6 months before coming out as psychic online, I did have a couple of in-person clients that were literally through word of mouth. Once again, I wasn't advertising myself. They were word of mouth clients. I had a client and I had known we had met once and I knew that she wanted to meet a second time. But I was kind of like I said, this was a part of my like makeup, my personality or whatever, my identity that I wasn't really I wasn't ready to like fully embody. But I remember I went for a walk and I remember thinking about I knew that I was a medium. I did not know I would end up working as a medium full time one day, but I knew it was something I was supposed to be doing. And about 6 months before coming out online, I went for a walk. Actually, it was probably about a year. Yeah, it was a year before I came out online. I went out for a walk and I remember thinking, Misty, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? If you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew that your predictions were accurate, if you knew that if you reached out to this client, she'd say, yes, I absolutely want a session with you. It's because it wasn't coming from, I didn't need the money. It wasn't about the money. It was about like trusting. It was about trusting myself, trusting my gift, trusting my oversoul, basically, and my guides. My oversoul more than anything, by the way, because your oversoul knows your oversoul is really the powerhouse here, more so than your guides, by the way. We could talk about that if someone's interested another time. So I remember thinking, like, what would I do? And I was like, I would text her. I would text Lindsay. If I knew I could not fail, if I knew 100%, if I trusted my gift 100%, I would text her right now and just extend a session. Like, hey, I know you wanted to meet again. Do you have any availability XYZ? That's exactly what I did. We did meet again. We did have a great session. I think that she included me on she was working on like a podcast or something about like haunted objects. She did something, this is the thing. She did something that I've never been asked to do before and I could do it. She had an object from what she felt like was a haunted home or something on the East Coast. It was like a Confederate camp or something like that. So she had an item and she was like, can you tell me about the origins of this item? And I could. I didn't know it then, but what I was doing is I was remote viewing. Like I could see not the where it was made, but I could see the history of this item and like basically the things that this house had seen over the last 100 or so years. It was pretty fascinating. So yeah, so that was my guides are just telling me they're clapping for me. That's so sweet. They're telling me that that was actually, oh man, they're telling me that that was like more to them that that showed a bigger leap of faith than that initial Instagram post I did. They're saying I basically set myself up for success in that moment, which is that's pretty sweet. So, yeah, and then basically what I'm trying to say is like every time I've trusted them, things work, them being my guides, but it's also my oversoul. Sometimes I think we give too much power. Not that our guides don't deserve our trust, but it's like your oversoul, they're more they're more connected to your purpose than your guides are, which makes sense because it's your oversoul and they're the ones who plan the whole thing. Every time I've trusted my oversoul and my guides, especially when it has been in a situation where I'm like, this is going to fuck me over financially, it never does. It never fucking does. Perfect example of this. Perfect example of this. Because of who I am, because of what I am, I'm also a yeah, I'm a deeply targeted individual. I didn't know this until a couple of months ago, but my life makes a lot more sense after knowing this. I'm a targeted individual. My life has been in danger pretty much the whole time. I did not know this. So until a couple of months ago, my guides told me They were like, "You have to get out of this apartment. You're not safe. You have to get out of this apartment. You're not fucking safe." They kept giving me the image of a sitting duck. And I was like, I can't just walk out on my lease. And so guess what they did? I got a sign on my front door that was like, "Hey, be prepared to move out in 30 days." And I was like, I haven't been here. I emailed the property manager and I was like, I haven't been here a year. So you put this on the wrong fucking door. I was pissed off. I was like, you put it on the wrong door. I haven't even been here a year. And they emailed me back and they're like, oh, actually, your lease was supposed to be a year-long lease, but there was an admin error. What? There was a clerical error. So you actually have to be out in 30 days. I was like, what the fuck? So, and my guides, they're like laughing. They're like, yeah, we told you. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go. Okay, about a week before I was supposed to move out, they were like, you actually have to go now. You have to go fucking now. You cannot wait around anymore. And I was like, I still have all my stuff in here. Like literally, like my bed, my furniture, my rugs. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? They literally were like, I fought them on this. They're like, keep it, leave it there, fucking leave it. They kept saying, let the dead bury the dead, fucking leave it. And I was like, no, that like me trying to be a responsible person. I'm thinking like, no, I'm gonna need this place as like rental reference. I'm gonna need to. I just wanted to be responsible, so I argued with them about this. I even went out of my way to hire, it was like a Habitat for Humanity. I didn't know that they did this, but I hired someone to drive to my apartment and come pick all this stuff up and then basically I was paying to have my shit donated basically. But I didn't have a truck. I didn't know anyone in this city that could fucking help me. So I hired somebody. They didn't show up. They they literally didn't fucking show up. No call, no show. The money refunded back to my card with nobody contacting me. And my guides were like, "Yeah, we told you. We told you to fucking leave it." I fucking fought them on that. I did leave that apartment a week early and I just stayed in some hotels and I even moved hotels a couple times because they were like I don't know, it felt like a pressure cooker. Something was going on and they'd just tell me like you gotta go. And it sometimes it wouldn't even be until the morning of when I was supposed to check out. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. And at the same time, my car was stolen. So I didn't have a car. I didn't have a car. My lease was ending. Everything I owned fit in everything I own literally fits in 4 suitcases. And I didn't have a car. So I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Me and my 4 suitcases. I don't know where I'm going. And every time my guides would pull through, they'd find some incredible deal on a hotel or I would get under I can't even tell you the no every single time I travel, I am undercharged for my hotels and or I'm upgraded. Actually, and or I'm upgraded, if not both, every single time. And my guides are like, duh. Like, don't you think we would fucking take care of you? So I'm at the point in my relationship with them, I don't fight them anymore. I don't. I'm just like, they ask me to do something that sounds absolutely bananas, and I just say to them, like, fine, I'll do it. I need you to take care of the repercussions of that because I'm not taking care of that. I'm not fucking paying for walking out of this apartment with all of my stuff there. Do you want to know what that apartment complex charged me? I mean, I left everything. All of my books, all of my big furniture, everything in the kitchen, everything. I left everything. I'm telling you, everything I own fits in 4 suitcases. Listen to me. I don't have a storage unit. I don't have a vehicle. I don't even have a fucking gym membership right now. Everything I own fits into 4 suitcases because my guides were like, you gotta go. You are being hunted for fucking sport. You gotta fucking skedaddle, girlfriend. So I listened to them. I was charged $200 for leaving everything. I mean, you couldn't even pay a TaskRabbit person. It was going to cost more for me to pay to have everything donated than what they ended up charging me. I walked out on that place. I didn't even pay the last month of rent, and they didn't charge me for it. Literally. And the reason I didn't pay it is because they're stupid. I don't have the executive functioning or patience to their portal kicked me off. And I could not, I don't want to get into it. I just was like, I have the money, you're not getting it because this is a waste of my time. Yeah. So, and then my car was stolen. My car was stolen with all of my paintings in it because I knew I wasn't going back to that apartment. I had an idea. It was an option to go back. Like, okay, maybe I'll be able to go back and get more things. Then my car was stolen. So all of my paintings, all of my keepsakes from my dead brother, sorry, Derek, from my grandma, who's on the other side, all of my keepsakes and all of my paintings from the last 5 to 10 years were all in that car. They're all gone. All of them fucking gone. And my guides were like, it does, my guides were like, it doesn't matter. You're not that woman anymore. You're Yeah, they were like, you were starting over. Like none of that matters. Oh my God. But it ended up being the best thing for me because now I don't have to be anywhere. Like I work and I'm a digital nomad, which is so bizarre because I never set out to be a digital nomad, but because of one post that I put on my social media, because I listened to my intuition, I'm now a digital nomad with an exponentially higher self worth, self worth, exponentially higher net worth and sense of well-being. My car being stolen was one of the best things that ever happened because then I was also paid out for it because of my insurance. I double what I bought it for. Mind you, I just bought it like 2 months before it was stolen. I literally just bought that car and then it was stolen. But I was paid out almost double what I bought it for because it was stolen. This hotel I'm in right now, y'all, I don't know what the hell is going on because I've double checked the invoice and I've double checked my credit card statement multiple times for this. You can't tell from here maybe. It's fairly comfortable. It's about the size of the apartment I was living in with like a little kitchenette and, whatever. I am being charged a third of the price. And I'm saying that confused because I've literally double checked. I'm like, is it just the deposit they've taken out? But it's not. It's like the total cost is a third of what it actually costs. But I'm telling you that that's how those things happen. Okay? The day that I got my car, but they happen because I am not in control. They happen because I'm listening to my fucking intuition, okay? I'm doing things I don't want to fucking do. I didn't want to leave the city I was living in. I didn't even want to leave the job I was working. Like, I'm doing things I don't egoically want to do because I know it's in my best interest. Do you see what I mean? So it's not like I'm asking the universe. I mean, I am asking them for things, but it's like they're providing for me because I'm following what I'm supposed to do. I'm not just being like a total fucking dick off and not doing the things my soul is here to do. This is working for me because I'm doing the things my soul is asking me to do. I'm not perfect. I'm not doing it perfectly. I am getting better at just trusting without fighting them so much. I'm actually really excited because there's a location that they really want me to go to. I really did not want to go. I did argue with them a little bit, but I knew. So I dropped it. I know where I'm going next. I figured out my travel plans tentatively, not entirely, because I also know I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it, not because I'm going to be enjoying myself, but because I know that they're going to take care of me. I know that they're going to take care of me because I'm doing it. Because I don't want to, but I'm doing it anyways. I'm doing it without resistance. That's how this works. Okay, there was something else I wanted. Oh my God, my car being paid out. The day that my car was paid out, I got the call from my insurance agent, which, by the way, the best way to save yourself money is by getting insurance, okay? Okay, I'm gonna do a guide. By the way, what I did in my career is I worked in behavioral health, crisis management, and resource navigation. Okay, so special interest, those three things. I am working on some guides of like, because I used to not have money. There's some pretty incredible and like resource savvy ways I figured out how to hold on to my money, okay? And I am working on guides to make those available for free, obviously, because I'm not going to capitalize on people that don't have money because I want people to who don't have money to learn how to hold on and grow their money. Okay, so going back, the day that my car was stolen, the day my car was stolen, and no, the day I got the phone call that my car was being paid out, I literally held my breath when she told me when she told me how much they were paying me out for it. But yeah, I'm really funny because she was like, okay, well, and I hope that they also reimbursed me for a bunch of shit that they did not need to. But I just asked. I was like, okay, well, because this didn't even make any sense. But I was like, well, because my car was stolen, I've been staying in this hotel because my lease ended. So could you guys pay me out for this hotel? The answer was no, but they did it anyways. That's what sometimes you just have to fucking ask. Anyway, so they like paid me out for a couple of extra things that didn't really make sense. It didn't really make sense. And then I hung up the phone and I was so grateful. I literally, because I was getting paid out double for this vehicle, and I literally said to the universe, God, whatever. I said, I literally started crying and I was like, grateful. Like, thank you so much. What do you want me to do with this? Because I had it just as a gift. So it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Other than what I want to do with it, which is just like save it and invest it, basically. But I was like, what do you want me to do with this? And the first word I got was give. Immediately, immediately, immediately. And I was like, fine, fucking done. I'll do it. It was interesting because I actually knew exactly in that moment as well, like who and what I was going to give to without giving too much information. It was somebody that I'd like come across on the internet probably within a week prior, and their story just really touched me. Their story just really touched me. They have a GoFundMe or like a GoFundMe equivalent. And so I immediately, like I heard give, immediately still on my phone, pulled it out, got on their page, and I gave. And I gave an amount that like, oh, I'm gonna feel that. Like, oh, I'm gonna notice. It wasn't like $25 or something. It wasn't like an amount I wouldn't notice. It was an amount I was gonna notice. Like it was an amount that like when I saw it on my budgeting app later, I was like, what is that for? Like, do you see what I mean? Like it was an amount I noticed. And I did that intentionally because because that's the whole fucking point. That's the whole fucking point. So I did that and I was just like so grateful, like still in this place of gratefulness. Less than 7 minutes later, I'm not even fucking kidding you. This series of events was insane. Less than 7 minutes later, I pull open my email and I had my first monthly session subscriber. I had my first ever client subscribe to monthly sessions with me within 10 minutes of me getting this money, giving some of it to another person, and then this person booking monthly sessions with me. And I just fucking lost it. I actually did film a video. I probably will post it. I just haven't edited it. Maybe I won't fucking edit it. That's the thing. Editing stresses me out. I don't like to do it. I'm not doing it anymore. Yeah, so I filmed because I was bawling, because I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And it was literally just like that. It's like when you give from a place of gratefulness, you're circulating, it's all energy, fucking obviously, but then you're like circulating it and getting it back to yourself. And it's not even it wasn't about the money. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I really needed this $283 or something, because that's what I have my monthly subscriptions priced at. It wasn't like that. It was like, oh my God, I can't believe that a person on this planet wants to meet, like, that anyone would care so much about what I have to offer that they would pay to meet with me on a monthly basis. What? That's crazy. Like, the fact that I have paid subscribers on any of my platforms, I literally think about that all the time. And again, it's not about the money. It's about, like, I am just so honored that people give a damn about what I have to say. Not because I don't have interesting things to say. It's not really a self-worth thing. It's more like there's so many people doing so many things on the internet. I am honored that people choose to spend some of their bandwidth with me. Ugh, I take it very seriously, okay? Because I'm just so honored. So, yeah, I'm just checking my notes here. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I have. Oh, I have one more thing. This is such a interesting thing. So that job that I left in order to pursue being a psychic medium full time, it's so funny because I actually met up with my former boss and coworker a couple of weeks ago for lunch, and I think that they were kind of like looking for clues, like, is Misty doing okay? Because I think they cared about me like as a person, and I feel like they were kind of like, is she on the verge of homelessness, or like what, how's it going over there? And I think that they were pleasantly surprised when I was like, no, I'm doing very well. Like, financially, I'm doing very well. And we actually talked about, because I was asking, because she owns her own business, obviously, because I was employed by her. So I was asking her, like, I need to scale. How do I do that? What are next steps? Actually, me getting business insurance was her idea. Like, she plugged that idea. She was like, you need to do that. I was like, damn, you're right. I do need to do that. So now I have that. Anyways, so I had lunch with them, and we were talking about, I was asking about my former clients. Y'all, I just counted. If my counting is correct, within a month, within 1 month, okay, so I told them that I was leaving, and then I gave them a month, so I continued working with them for a month. Within that 1 month, six of my seven clients, oh no, five of my seven clients left the program that I was working with and working for. So what that means is I would have had two clients. It's actually really crazy how it happened. Within 1 month, my last month there, five clients that she had been working with, some of them she'd been working with for over 10 years, just left the program the month I was leaving. So imagine, it's actually, I understand I'm psychic, okay? But sometimes I still blow my fucking mind because I'm like, how the fuck did I know? Was there any way, like, did I know that? My guides are laughing, so I don't, maybe I did know. There were no clues that I was like suddenly, like, if I had stayed, if I hadn't made the leap and quit that job, I probably would have had to quit that job, or I would have had to supplement with a second income. They're saying I left before I had to, and that's exactly they're saying it's a privilege. Thank you. They're calling me pretty as well, but they're like batting their eyes at me. That's my brother. Derek's actually doing that. God, he's such a freaking sweetie pie. Hold on a second. He's like making himself present. Okay, so you can't see him, but Derek's seated next to me now. If you see him, tell me if you can see him, because he's seated next to me now. He wanted to be a part of this. Yeah, he's just telling me he's really proud of me. I'm trying not to cry because I don't want to edit this. I don't want to edit this video. Okay, so had I not left that job, trusted my intuition, and left, I would have had to seek a second form of income anyways, because I would have been down more than half of my clients. Like three-quarters of my clients just within 1 month. It's totally astonishing. to me. Oh yeah, so what my guides were saying, yeah. My guides are saying it's a privilege to I lost it. They're saying they're okay, I'll do that too. I will. Yeah. They're saying it's a privilege to trust in yourself and trust in the universe. But they also want me to do a channeled message, which I've gotten this a couple times. They've been encouraging me to do. You've probably seen those like group tarot readings or like a tarot reading for the collective or something. They want me to start doing channeled messages for the collective, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, they love that. Of course they do. It's their idea. They're showing me a wad of money. They're saying, oh my God, you guys. Okay, so they're saying that if you took all of the money in the world, it would be every shade of the rainbow. They're making the comparison that money is like it's a board game. It's a game. They're showing me Uno and how Uno cards are all different colors. They're saying that like money likes to commingle with other money and it likes to nobody holds on. Oh, they're saying that we should be viewing money as something we're trying to get rid of as quickly as possible. Oh my God, that's so funny because they're making the comparison of Uno, of like when you're playing Uno, you're trying to finish, you're trying to get rid of all your cards, and they're like, you need to be doing that with your money, because they're saying that the person in Uno, they're showing me the person. This is so funny too, because my family of origin, we played a lot of board games, um, just because we didn't know how to communicate with each other. So when we were all together, we would just play board games because we didn't know how to talk with each other without fighting. So we just played fucking board games, especially after Derek went on the other side. He's showing me he was there with us too, which that probably makes sense. That's probably why we did it all the time, is because we felt him with us when we were doing it. He's saying, yeah. Oh boy. He's saying checks and balances. Okay, so what they're showing me is like the person who most desperately in Uno is trying to get rid of their cards is also the person who ends up having the most difficulty. It's also the person who like attracts the most cards to them. They're showing me it's like the energy of like desperately trying to get rid of your Uno cards or money. And that in that metaphor, they're saying it's not a metaphor. They're like, Missy, they're calling me a dunce. They're saying this isn't a metaphor. This is what this is. They're saying that trying to get rid of your money, trying to get rid of your Uno cards as quickly as possible, that desperate energy is also the same desperate energy that makes you draw four card or makes the people around you draw multiple reverses, so they're just going back and forth skipping you. Like the energy of like that desperateness of trying to get rid of money is actually the same energy that pulls it towards you. They're saying to just like try to get rid of your money as if it's Uno cards and to give it to your neighbor. Yeah, they're because they're making the comparison again of like money being. I mean, in the States, our money is just green, but they're showing me that money from other parts of they keep showing me red money, which is what, India or the Dominican Republic or something? Both. Well, I don't know. This is what I'm remote viewing and channeling, okay? If you know what country has red paper money, I would love to hear about that because I don't know. They're showing me that like money likes to commingle internationally, like with other people. They're saying, like, don't just share your money. They're saying the global economy. They're saying, don't just share your money with your neighbor, but that, like, your neighbor across the street is your neighbor, but your neighbor across the world is your neighbor. Like, they're really making the comparison. They're even doing something with, like, they're showing me the currents of the ocean and how, like, trade ships used to be global. They're saying that like, and now they're saying EFT, which I think is electronic funds transfer. Oh my God, that's so funny. They're saying electronic funds transfer, but they're also saying EFT as in like It's like tapping. Like if you've seen that guy on YouTube that does like the tapping, they're saying like it's the same thing. Electronic funds transfer and what does he call this? I can't remember. I'll try to link him. I cannot Brian something. I watched one of his videos. I have a playlist of them if you're interested. I'll post that as well. But they're saying like they're saying if you by healing your net worth, you're healing your network. No, yeah, by healing your net worth, you're healing oh, by healing your self-worth, you're healing your net worth. And then they keep doing this comparison of like the global economy, wire transfers. They're saying that money is so it loves to be spent. It craves to be spent. And they're just showing me like the harder you hold on to it, it like disintegrates. Because they're saying like just try to fucking get rid of it. Try to get rid of it as quickly as you can and just watch it come right back to you. And I'm also asking, I'm like, well, that can't be true. They don't like when I argue. But I'm saying like they're saying for the pure of heart. I guess I only channel messages for the pure of heart. Thank fucking God, by the way. Yeah, they're saying for the pure of heart. And oh yeah, that makes sense because they're also showing me like it's not really what you spend it on, but it's like with what is your frequency that you spend it on, okay? Like you could be spending it on a bottle of wine, but is that because you're gonna go home and you're really self-soothing your mommy wound, so you're gonna drink all this wine and it's gonna run right through your self-worth and your self-worth and your net worth? Or are you buying a bottle of wine because you are getting together with a group of new people and you're like building camaraderie? Literally, they're showing me with neighbors. Yeah, okay, so that's message one is like spend your money specifically for the pure of heart, okay? And pure of intentions. Spend your money as if it's Uno money and try to get rid of it as quickly as possible and watch. Yeah, they're saying like facts. I can't remember what. There's like a Leonardo DiCaprio movie that they're showing me right now that he must have just had a shit ton of money. They're saying he doesn't have. Yeah, they're like he wasn't even pure of heart, so he's got nothing. Like just wait until the pure of heart figure out how to play the money game. Fascinating. Okay, the other thing that they're showing me. Okay, I got that too. Thank you. They're saying it's our ancient. Yeah, okay. You know what? Okay, here it is. Spirit is urging women and people of the global majority, so women and people that are not Caucasian. There's something there about like us circulating money to each other, like building each other up through money, because they're saying that the quickest or one of the tools of anti-oppression, they're saying the tools of independence. Yeah, one of the tools of independence, they're showing me like the Declaration of Independence. They're saying the Declaration of Independence was written in money. It's like, which is to say, like, oh my God, what are they? It's like written in money, it's written in freedom and privilege, which is money is like how you get those things, or it's how the universe is. Yeah, they're saying they're throwing all their chips in. Yeah, they're trying something not new necessarily. They're saying they're like breaking, yeah, they're like trying to break some barriers, but it starts with us. They're saying it starts with women and it starts with people of the global majority, which again that's a term that I borrowed from Julia Chan. She's an incredible, if you're autistic and don't understand social hierarchy, such as myself, she is fucking brutal. She's a real kick in the freaking face, but she's right. She's right, and she has helped me instrumentally. I'll link her YouTube. She's helped me instrumentally in understanding power dynamics and systems of oppression. So that's her term is the global majority. The global majority, we need to be spending money on each other. Yeah, they're saying spend money. Yeah, they're saying fuck Zara. They're literally saying my guides or someone's guides. That's my oversoul. It's like fuck Zara, by the way. They're like spend your money on there's this one. I haven't bought a purse from her yet, but I want to. And my oversoul's like, why the fuck haven't you? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so there's this one specific, she's a really young artist. I don't remember where she's from in Africa, but she's from Africa and she makes these gorgeous purses. They're saying we need to be spending money on each other. They're saying they're showing me it's like breaking the chains. Oh my God. Women and people of the global majority, they're urgent about this. They're like, you need to be spending money on other women and people of the global majority. They're literally fucking emphatic about this. They're like, stop padding the pockets of whoever the fuck owns McDonald's, which I'm sure is, I don't even know. I'm gonna assume it's a white guy, okay? If it's not, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I'm assuming. Yeah, they're saying to spend your money on, yeah, on people that you want to lift out of oppression because simultaneously it's like lifting you out of oppression. Which I recognize me as a white woman, I do have less oppression than other demographics, okay? Like I'm not grouping us all together. I was gonna say don't come at me, but honestly you can. What am I gonna do about that? You're allowed to have your own opinions. Okay, anything else? No, they're saying they're done. They're saying I'm done. Okay, thanks for watching. Spend money like you're trying to get rid of it, and spend money on those that you want to succeed. And then in turn, you'll also be succeeding.